The book, The Art of the Deal by Donald J.
Mm.
may in the future be considered one of the must reads on the same level of Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, Character by Ralph Waldo Emerson, or even How to Make Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. Each one of these is a staple self-help book in their own right. I say this because the Donalds might just have done it. Close the mother of all deals when it comes to Greenland. And who gets the benefit? Well, the people of Greenland for sure, being offered $1 million each to allow the US have sovereignty over parts of the country, mainly in expanding the air bases to be able to comport not only to keep peace in that neck of the woods, but also to initiate, the Iron Dome or the Golden Dome, as he
Oh,
likes
yeah,
it,
yeah.
of protection for the US and indeed, if I understand this right, Western Europe too.
Mm.
And also, the US will need land in Greenland rich in deposits of minerals to be able to extract to foot the bill for the whole caboodle.
Mm.
Right? They've got to pay for it somehow.
Yeah.
So it's a win-win-win situation. A win for the Greenlander people, who personally will get a windfall. Good for Europe because of the added protection, and good for the US, which needs the minerals. It seems the deal will be done, although the Danish government, not seeing much of a financial incentive for its leaders to put in their pockets, might try to put the kibosh on the whole thing. But for sure, the deal has the press and the pundits vibrate and singing praise, and I'm sure the art of the deal will be flying off the shelves once again, and to be held in the same esteem as the other books I mentioned at the top of the podcast.
Yeah.
Short and sweet. Looks like Trump's done it.
Well, um, I'm going to start this. People accuse Trump of being secretive and not telling you what he's planning and everything else. I think this highlights that maybe he's a very, very upfront individual. What he's done, he's actually done classic negotiating thing, which is all the art of the deal. I haven't read it, but yeah, when I've studied how to negotiate things, I wouldn't say I'm a master negotiator by a long shot. There's a big difference between reading the theory and being able to carry the thing out in practice. Um, Trump starts here with what he's saying and what he's even threatening on occasions. Yeah. And you come back with him with a counter proposal. That's business, that's deal. And he says, I want this and I want that. I'd like this, or this would be ideal. And you say to him, ultimately, I think he's made a proposal on paper, and listening to him is a sensible business and strategic proposal.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with you all the way
Not,
on that.
yeah, I'm saying I'm stating the obvious, but obviously I'm breaking it down in conversation. Um, Possibly politically, when I say politically, I mean, yeah, politically, it's not appealing to those that wish to retain the status quo with regards to globalism, globalist politics.
How we're getting there.
Yeah. And never the twain shall meet. Um, I mean, I would still like to believe that I elect politicians to work in the best, my, um, the best they can on my behalf in regards to both things nationally and internationally. Sometimes they may have to compromise some things, and okay, that is again negotiation out the deal. Or sometimes they may have to park some ideas in order, to bring in late online a bit later. Okay, you can't change the world around you. It's pointless doing something if the rest of the world isn't going to necessarily comply in a particular time frame. Um, I think I'm going to be quite honest here. I think it was a master stroke, probably unintentionally, of Donald Trump not winning a second consecutive term because he learnt a lot from his first stint.
Yeah.
He learned not to who to listen to, who not to listen to.
Found out who his allies really were.
Yeah. Um, I mean, yes, when he went into politics, it's absolutely true. He didn't have any experience. He was green. Um, but he knows business. I know people say he's got failed businesses. You point to
Yeah.
any successful businessman who doesn't have some. It's not even skeletons in the closet. Has some failed, openly failed attempts at things. Um, and he sort of applies the same tactics to his political worldview, which the likes of you and me can understand. Now, you've read these said books, or you may have read them. I have,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I've not actually sat down and read them. I've read parts of them and obviously had an investigation, and I can understand the logic of things. I've had experience in life, in business, inverted commas, and I can understand what he's saying. The speech he gave at Davos the other day and the analysis I've seen since makes a lot of sense to me. It's uncomfortable. It's very uncomfortable. But hey, I don't want somebody who tells me good news all the time because I'm going to be ultimately suspicious of them as well. Um, yeah, he laid it on the line. As I said, he's been very, very honest of what he believes. Whether or not you agree with him or not,
His
that's
his his latest initiative, the Peace Council,
mm,
which was kicked off
mm,
or this yesterday or this morning,
yeah.
that it's going to undermine the United Nations. The Peace Council is going to do in 1 year what the United Nations hasn't done since its inception. How about that?
Well, the United Nations came about because of the failure of the League of Nations.
Yeah.
I mean, I learned this at school. Okay, oversimplifying things. That is a big problem. The United Nations, as we know, has become a yeah, it's become a federal political federal establishment as opposed to a discussion and a forum, and it is just a forum where countries just go and kick the likes of the US and Israel and Russia. Um, I'm not saying they're all good boys and everything they do is great and wonderful. And they put these resolutions against these countries. I don't know how many resolutions that the US has had against it. I think there's a couple. Um, and it strikes me nothing ever gets done about it anyway.
There you are. There you are. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
This people, it looks like the people who are because each leader of
Mm,
each country that's part of it has
mm,
had to chip in $1 billion
yeah.
to even Putin wants in,
Mm. No.
right? And willing to give in $1 billion to be part of this peace council, be part of
Yeah.
this new order, if you like.
Mm.
Uh, and I think it's only Donald Trump that could have organized all this.
Well, yeah. He has energy. He has the cojones
Yeah,
to do things.
yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah,
I mean, yeah, he floats ideas. He floats okay overreaching business ideas. He has
yeah,
a strategy already in place. He doesn't.
yes.
He sometimes play. I think he sometimes plays the game of, oh, I've just randomly thought of this, and this is probably where he's a bit deceitful. Whereas he's probably got already the idea in place, like lots of successful business people do. They don't suddenly go to a board meeting and say, I think we should do this. They've already done it, sometimes costed it, thought the strategy. Um, it's nice if you get people's buy into it. It's not good to run a business in a very totalitarian way. Yeah, because you've got to be able to know when to listen to other people around you. Yes, Mr. President, I think or yes, Mr. Chairman, I think that's a reasonably good idea. But have you thought the consequences of doing this and with this, and this? Oh, I missed that. Yeah. How do we counteract these then? And this is it. That's a business proposal. That's project management. But yeah,
Yeah.
uh,
Well, at the end of the day, Uh, Donald Trump seems to be in the good books of the press. He seems to be in the bad books of the political class, which is ever the way. But what I'm seeing is that the press is coming more towards the press
Yeah,
used to used
yeah,
to chide
yeah,
something rotten Donald Trump,
yeah.
and now the press all of a sudden is just realizing how brilliant he actually is.
Well, he puts proposals and he explains his reasoning, as opposed to, well, we should do this because it's, yeah, it's part of our allies. The rest, well, who are my allies? Um, is it good for me? Is it good for them? Ultimately, is it good for the few? Is it good for the many? Yeah, who does it benefit? Um, okay, people say, well, it benefits Russia. Well, is that such a bad thing, bringing Russia into the fold? I know might have been some bad boys, naughty boys, the same with China. Um, you don't always win the argument by being hostile. Here's some sweeties for you if you amend your ways a bit. Yeah. You come in and begin to understand us.
Of
Uh,
course, the big question is going to be now,
mm,
what's going to happen when Trump leaves office?
do you know what? That was going to be my next thing. Yeah. Whilst there's somebody with, yeah, the charisma, the characteristic, the bullheadedness sometimes, the drive to keep this in place, what comes next after? I mean, Donald Trump, I don't mean this nastily. He's going to die one day. I don't wish this. He's going to disappear one day. Yeah,
You're
one way or another. Yeah, bad phrase of words there. Yeah, he's not going to be around. And when you look who can replace him, there's no certainties. Sorry, there's no certainties in the world at the moment who will come after him. Um, we all see people we would possibly think, well, there'd be a good follow on for him if you're in the MAGA camp,
yeah, of course.
or oh, I would prefer him if you're not in the MAGA camp, or he would be a good that person would be a good compromise. Maybe a compromise might not be the best step to make.
Don't think so.